Wait, first things first. Okay, now I'm ready to talk. Hey guys, it feels kind of weird to like do my normal intro to this type of video, but as you can tell by the title of the video, this is going to be a story time. So this is actually my first time really doing a story time with you guys, so I tried to pick a really juicy one that I could think of, and you know, unfortunately a lot of other people also have done story times about similar situations. So I thought if I'm going to do a story time, this is the juiciest one. So if you are above the age of 21, make sure to grab yourself a glass of wine. If you are not of legal drinking age, and you know, get a bowl of popcorn, and let's get right into this story time, y'all. I have Moo right here with me, which if you guys follow me on any of my social medias, you guys would obviously know who he is. I don't know why I'm nervous to film this right now. Like, I literally have already filmed this before actually and never uploaded it. I don't know why, but you know, here we are now. So also, I just want to preface this by saying, no, this does not have anything to do with Dwayne. This happened way before that we were dating, so has nothing to do with him. You guys will literally not have any idea who this person is at all unless you're friends with me, like in person, and you were there when it happened. So yeah, so with that being said, I'm obviously not going to disclose his name or any other names of like any other parties involved in this situation for privacy reasons, so I'm just going to give him a nickname. Let's just name him Mark, okay? So this whole story is literally about my actual relationship with Mark, who apparently was also dating someone else at the same time. So let's get right on into it. So our first ever engagement, like of how we met on Bumble. I was on Bumble and Tinder at the time, but obviously I was on Bumble because I just wanted to try Bumble, and I'm not one of those people that just like gives my number out like right away to guys on apps just because I clearly don't respond to my texts. So yeah, so I just don't ever really like give out my number that often. So like the fact that I gave this guy my number is like really shocking to me. But anyway, so we were obviously talking on Bumble for a while, but obviously I don't have the app anymore, so I don't have any of those conversations. So I don't have the exact date of when we first like matched on Bumble and stuff. But our first text was on February 24th in 2018, and he said, hey, he put the little like bee emoji thing to be funny, because like, you know, Bumble bee. But I noticed like the bee right away, and I was like, oh, lol, nice emoji. Also, another preface to this whole video, I'm going to be hinting at you guys for certain things to remember, because they're going to be key to like later points in the story. So like I'll let you guys know, but those are things that you guys should like definitely remember. But I'll obviously, when we get there, I'll remind. But I said, LOL, nice emoji. And he said, thanks, I thought it was appropriate. Just remember that, okay? Remember that. He put his name with the little B next to it. And then apparently, so we had been texting for a couple weeks, and I went to the Sacramento Kings game with the UC Davis Tennis Club because we did it as like a little social thing with each other, and I'd never been to an NBA game before, so I really wanted to go to one. I was telling him about it because he is from Sacramento. He was born and raised in Sacramento, and I was like, oh, guess what, like I'm going to a Kings game, and this boy somehow ended up going to that same exact Kings game. So what happened? We met up during halftime, and if you know me, you know that like I love sports, like I love watching sports. He said, stop by the Sierra Nevada bar at halftime, haha. And I was like, lol, that means I have to walk though. Then I ended up going there, and we talked the whole rest of the game. I did not watch a single second of the second half of the game. So yeah, I don't know, I was just really interested. I don't know, he was also there with one of his friends, but his friend like left and went somewhere else. But yeah, his friend was there at first. So that was March 8th, right? So then a couple days later, on March 11th, he ended up coming over and we hung out for a little bit because he said, I'm going to be in Davis pretty early on Sunday because I sold the homie some soccer shit, so I'm meeting up with him, and in the evening I might be helping another friend move some heavy stuff in his apartment. But in between I have nothing to do, so if you're down to study for a bit, ha ha ha. And I said, I'm down. And then we ended up hanging out. I was just literally laying out by the pool, and we just laid out by the pool. I think like we ended up going back inside for a little bit just because it got hot or something, or maybe I don't know. And we just, yeah, we hung out for a little bit. We just talked like the whole time, just like we did at the Kings game. Like it was so weird. It felt so natural. And then another thing, we also, I don't really have like, I don't know, the texts that I have like from this point like aren't really that relevant, but basically we did go out together on St. Patrick's Day, and we did go out in Sacramento. It was just me and him the whole time, and it was a great night. We all saw someone get hit by a car because, but yeah, it was weird because, you know, we clearly went and hung out on St. Patrick's Day literally all night. And then I don't have the exact date for this text, but we like, I remember like we were talking about like Instagram and stuff, and because I always had my Instagram linked onto all my Tinder and Bumble profiles, I remember like, you know, I always ask people if they have an Instagram because obviously I do everything on social media. So, and Instagram is just like one of those platforms that like, it's kind of weird if people don't have an Instagram, you know, or like just I guess that's just my opinion, but like I feel like people around like our generation, it would be kind of weird if they didn't have an Instagram, you know? Granted, one of my housemates doesn't have an Instagram, but she doesn't have anything. But see, that's what doesn't make sense. It's the people that don't have Instagram, but they have everything else. That's what didn't make sense to me. So I remember this specific text was like, honestly, the main reason that you should get an Instagram again is so you can see my bikini pics. I hate my flirting. Oh God, gag. Okay, but he did say I will consider getting back on. So remember that, because clearly, like, you know, he didn't have an Instagram. He said he was going to consider getting back on, so just remember that, okay? And then I went home for spring break, so while I was home, like, we were obviously still texting and all of that stuff. Here's this specific text where it says, the Insta goes live again on 4/5/18, be there. And then I said, why that day? And he said, I like the number 5 and April is my birthday month. There we go. His Instagram was apparently going to go live again on that day. So then I came back on April 2nd, and he picked me up from the airport, which was so nice of him. And he also picked me up with like these homemade cookies that he always bragged about at his parents' coffee shop in Sacramento. So he brought me cookies, and I was like, oh my God, I've never had a guy. It was so dumb. I was so like swoon over this. I was like, wow, he picked me up from the airport and he brought me cookies. Like, wow. I was yeah, he picked me up from the airport, and you know, if a guy's picking you up from the airport, that's kind of a big deal in my opinion. And so then his birthday was coming up because it was April. We were talking about his birthday, and then his birthday happened. April 9th, 2018. He literally had no plans for his birthday. Like, that's what he told me. He said, like, I don't have any plans for my birthday. I don't know what I'm gonna do. And I was like, your parents aren't gonna do anything? Like, for you? Like, you're not gonna go to dinner with them or anything? He was like, no, I don't think so. So then I was like, oh, okay, well, do you want to go to dinner? I was like, we can go to dinner and we can go do something else. And he was like, sure, like when I get off work. I remember like I was like all ready to go at like 6 p.m. or something, like hella early. And I remember like he still like hadn't left yet. And then like I don't have all of the texts like with the timestamps of like how long it took for him to get there finally. But basically like the last text that I do have was at 7:37 p.m. LOL, are you on your way yet? And then he texted me at 8:56 p.m. I got my bag stuck. LOL, I'm walking now. He didn't get to my place until 9 p.m. on his birthday. I forgot what he said he was doing. I honestly genuinely forget, but I think he like probably said something about like doing something with his parents or something. So his birthday was on a Monday, and in Sacramento at this one bar called Lowbrow, they do this thing called Motown Mondays, and he would always rave about it like all the time. And I was like, okay, like, well, do you want to go since your birthday's on a Monday? And then he was like, yes. So we went to Motown Monday, and it was so fun. It was a great time. Like, yeah, it just, you know, he had a great birthday. And then a couple days later, actually, okay, I don't know the exact date, but this date that I have right here from this text is April 15th, 2018. If you get the job in San Jose and move there, will this end? And basically what happened was he had been looking for a full-time job for a long time, and he had just been basically applying everywhere because, well, okay, I don't know what that's like, but I can imagine that that's what it's like, just like applying everywhere where you can get a job. And so he ended up getting a job offer, or a possible job offer or something, in San Jose. And I mean, San Jose is not that far from Davis. It's maybe like a couple hours, but you know, it was a genuine question to me, like, will this end? Because we had discussed before, I don't know exactly when because this was in person, but we did discuss before his birthday, are you talking to other people? And we both said we weren't. So then I was like, okay, so cool, so we aren't talking to other people, we're only talking to each other, so like what does that mean? Like, we're exclusive then? And then basically, like, we didn't want to title it with anything until we knew like what his job situation would be like and if he was gonna have to move our way or anything like that. So that's what we decided. Basically, like, I didn't know that he was applying to jobs like outside of the Northern California region, and so I just got kind of upset about that because like it was just annoying. And I was just like, well, you should have just at least like told me and give me a heads up that you were applying to places like outside of NorCal, because I had no freaking idea. And like, it makes sense because, you know, I mean, especially now unemployment rate is high. But also, sorry if you can hear kids screaming outside. I have neighbors with kids and I have my window open because I'm hot in this sweater. But we did like have this conversation over text, and I said, okay, should we stop? And he said, I honestly don't know. I don't think so, because I'm still here. Nothing has changed yet, if at all, but I understand if you feel like we should, which would suck because who else am I gonna trip downstairs? I forgot he used to do that. Freaking annoying. And then I just said, well, I'm just worried about this getting more serious and getting hurt. I've been through so much and I'm tired of getting hurt. And he said, I understand that, so we could just keep things platonic or move things carefully / slowly. And then I said, what do you want? And he said, I want you to not feel like you're going to get hurt, whatever that entails, because you're good people. So clearly we you know, we both saw what we had as like an actual, like, you know, some type of exclusivity relationship type of thing. I don't know. And then I don't have the date. I think this is the same day, but I don't have like the date or the time for this one. But I just said, like, can you be honest with me? Like, did you ever see this going anywhere? And he said, yeah, because of you as a person, but I definitely didn't want to rush into things based on previous events, if that makes sense. And I asked, like, the one you told me about, and he said exactly. And I really don't remember what happened, but I feel like the story that he told me about was about the person that the whole reason for this whole story time. So I don't know exactly. I forget. This is ironic. But besides, regardless of what happens, you ain't losing me that easily. I don't have an exact date for this one either. He did get, so that job in San Jose ended up like, I don't know, just like pretty much just, I really don't know. But then he ended up getting a job offer for a job in San Francisco. I asked him, I was like, are you gonna take it? And he said, I think so. I said, that's good, but I'm sad that you'll be living farther away. And he said, I know, I love SAC and that you're here too, but I gotta start somewhere and get my career going. And I said, I understand, I'm proud of you. Okay, that was either like May 2nd, that was between May 2nd and May 4th for sure, because then on May 4th I asked him again, do you want to just end this? And he said, I don't want to personally, but realistically and out of respect to you, I feel like we probably should. And I was like, okay, like, is that what you really want? And he said, no, but the timing isn't right at all. And I was like, you don't think we can make it work? You don't want to try? And then he said, I don't doubt that it could possibly work, but I have a 6-month probationary period with this job where I'm extremely okay, I don't know why my camera just like cut out on me, but basically he was just like saying that he just wanted to focus on work, which like totally understand. So then like around this time his sister was graduating from the University of Notre Dame, and so him and his family were going to fly out to Indiana for the weekend to go to attend her graduation. And I remember he accepted the job offer in San Francisco, and so then he was going to go stay with his aunt in San Jose for a little while to see like if the 6-month probationary period worked out for his job, and or until he could find a place in SF. So basically he was gonna go move to San Jose, and then he was gonna fly out to Indiana and then come back and then start his job. And so basically like I asked him, you know, can you come the weekend before? Can we like, you know, hang out like one last time before, and you know, before you go, because I don't know when the next time I'm gonna see you is. And he was like, sure. So he came over on May 15th and hung out, and I made him dinner and all this stuff. And this is when things got weird. So basically we were downstairs in our apartment, and my 2 other housemates at the time, Lauren and Chelsea, were also downstairs watching TV in the living room. And I went upstairs to grab something from my room, and then I came back downstairs. Oh no, wait, sorry. Hold up. First, I love taking pictures. Obviously, you guys know that. I love taking pictures. I love taking pictures of people anywhere I go. Him and I like never ever took pictures together, and he'd always say like, oh, well, I just don't like pictures. I don't like taking pictures, blah, blah, blah. And like, if you looked at all of, like if you knew him and like saw all his pictures from his Facebook and stuff, like he literally never smiled. Like he looked like he was having like a horrible freaking time all the time. So yeah, so we never took any pictures together. We never took pictures. Had someone take a picture of us when we went out for St. Patrick's Day, his birthday, like nothing like that. Like we never took pictures together. So since this was gonna be like the last time that we were gonna hang out for like God knows how long, I asked Chelsea if she could take pictures of us, and he literally was having like a heart attack, like literally a heart attack. Like you don't understand, like he was literally trying to like fight it off. Like he wasn't like, he did literally like was trying to like avoid taking a picture literally at all costs. It was so weird. And then I had to go upstairs to get something from my room, and I came back downstairs and then he wasn't there. And I looked at Lauren and Chelsea and I was like, oh, like where did he go? And then they're like, oh, like he's outside, like he's on the phone, I don't know. And so then I went outside on the phone, and as soon as I went outside, he looked at me and went like this. Yeah, so I was like, okay, like I don't know like what's going on, but whatever, you know. I could hear a girl's voice on the other end, but he also has like 2 sisters, so at the same time, like, you know, I understand like he could also be talking to, like, I don't know, you know. I genuinely thought that he was like that great of a person that I like thought like I could trust him that much. Like, oh yeah, it's probably his sister or something, which he ended up telling me that's who it was. He told me it was his little sister, and that she was like having issues with her lab report because her lab partner wasn't helping her, and so she was asking him if he could help her, and he was like, oh yeah, for sure. And yeah, that's basically what he told me. So I will never know if that was actually his sister or not. Probably not. But yeah, so that was just like the weird thing, like the weirdest thing that happened in the night. And then the next day he dropped me off at work. But before he dropped me off at work, okay, here's the other thing that I forgot to mention. Every single time that we were together, he was never on his phone. Never. It was weird. Like he literally, like if he like was spending the weekend or something, he would just like put his phone in his bag and leave it there the whole entire weekend. He never ever took it out, ever. Which like I don't understand how you can like never have your phone. That's insane. Yeah, so that happened, and I think he like went to the bathroom or something, but I had just like, I don't know, I just had like the urgency to like go look and see like who was the person that called him. And it was a name that like I couldn't tell if it was like a boy or a girl name. I was like, I don't know who this is, so like I don't know. And then I don't remember if it was a text, but I saw a girl's name pop up on his phone with, now if you guys are paying attention to the beginning of this video, with the bee emoji, the same bee emoji next to her name. So then I opened the text, and literally like it was a whole nother girl. Her name was Danielle, and yeah, it was a whole nother girl. And it was so, I was like, bruh, seriously? So then I was like, okay, I have to like strategically figure out how to like ask him. And I never figured out like an actual good strategy. So I just remember like on the way that he was dropping me off to work, I just straight up asked him, so who's Danielle? And he was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, Danielle. I was like, the girl on your phone. And I don't really remember like what the dialogue was between us. I was like, well, like how did you like you met her on Bumble and stuff? And then he was like, yeah, well, you know Bumble has a friends part, right? Yeah, he dead ass said that. So then I was like, so she's from the Bumble friends part then? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, all right. And then I got to work, and then I went to work, and then I told my coworkers what happened, and they were all like, what the fuck? Yeah, my coworkers knew like everything about going on. Like my coworkers met him, my house, like some of my coworkers met him, my housemates met him, my family knew about him, like Dwayne knew about him because I was best friends with him at the time. Like it was just like insane because like everyone knew about him, and like some of my close friends even met him, which was even weirder. But basically I ended up texting him on May 16th, and this is the day that shit went down. And I texted him after he dropped me off at work, and I just said, I really hope you're not lying to me. And all he put was those stupid freaking skull emojis. And then I was like, well, I just like really want to know, is this Danielle person from the friends part of Bumble? And he said yes, and I said okay, whatever. So then later on in the day, I think I just had work this day. Yeah, I just had work this day. I didn't have class or anything. So later on in the day, I went on Instagram and I posted one of the pictures of us that Chelsea took of us from the night before. And I captioned it something like, don't leave, like miss you already or something. I don't know, something like that. Then my best friend Bailey from all the way in Chicago texted me and was like, girl, what is going on your Instagram? And I was like, what are you talking about? She was like, she sent me a screenshot and she was like, dude, what the fuck? And it was this girl commented on this picture of me and Mark. She literally said, but why do you have my man's posted? And I was like, because the person that commented, that was not Danielle. That was not Danielle. So I immediately called him, and he texted me. He was like, can I call you later? And I was like, no, call me now. And we were on the phone, and I remember like hearing his Alexa ring off, his FaceTime ring off, and I was like, is that her? And then he was like, yeah. And I was like, so who is this girl? And then he was like, that's my ex. And I was like, your ex? I was like, the one that you told me about? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, well, why is she saying that you guys are still dating? And he was like, he dead ass said like they weren't dating. He was like, I don't know why she would say that. I don't know why she would call me her boyfriend. We're not dating. We haven't been dating for a year, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, I don't remember like what I did in this situation. I just remember I was so in shock, and I don't remember if like I hung up or if he, like, I just don't remember how like that phone call ended. I just remember going downstairs, and thank God one of my housemates was there. Chelsea was there in the kitchen, because I just was just like, Mark has a girlfriend. And she was like, what? Like literally, like it was, you guys, it was insane. So then obviously, like if you guys like know Instagram, you guys will know that if someone isn't following you on Instagram and they message you, it'll go into your message requests on Instagram. And I noticed that I had like an extra message request in my DMs, so then I checked it, and it was the girl who commented on my picture. So me and this girl were talking at the same time that me and Mark were talking, and that Mark and her were talking. So it was literally like all of us. Like, so she messaged me saying, why do you have pictures with my boyfriend on your IG? And I said, he told me you guys weren't dating anymore. And she said, he lied. And I was like, well, I never knew about you in the first place. If I knew, I wouldn't have kept it going. But him and I were seeing each other, and he told me we were exclusive like 2 months ago. And she said, y'all are telling me different things, and at this point I really don't care, thanks. And I was like, trust me, like I wouldn't lie to you about this, hashtag girl code. And she was like, so I don't know you, I don't trust you. And I was like, all right. Cool. So then I cried a lot, and then I went over to my friend's house because her and then this other girl had to study for our chem test that we had the next day. And I told them about it because they also knew. I didn't tell them like the whole story obviously, but they also like knew of him too. And they're like, dude, what the fuck? Like, that's so crazy, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I know. So then when I was driving home after my study session, I called him and I was like, dude, like, what is going on? Like, I just genuinely want to know like what's going on, like why would you do this to me, blah blah blah. And he was like, I know I shouldn't have done this to you, I'm really sorry, blah blah blah. And I was like, well, I was like, sorry doesn't cut it, dude, like what the fuck. And then he was like, I'm sorry, I have to go, blah blah blah. And then I was like, all right. And I could not sleep that whole entire night. Like literally that whole entire night, I just legit was just panicking the whole night. I had so much anxiety. I mean, one, I was anxious about my freaking chem test the next day, and then two, I was just like, how could I have dated this person for so long and not know this, like at all? Like I was like, that is scary. And it was just like so much panicking, and I was like it's just so weird because like it just, no one saw it coming. Like literally no one saw it coming. None of my friends, my housemates, no one saw it coming. I was like, that's, if no one saw it coming, like there has to be something like I'm missing, you know? I was like, there's something else. So then I went on to, because I blocked her from my real Instagram because I just didn't want her to like keep messaging me or anything. And so then I went onto my Finsta, which if you guys don't know is a fake Instagram where you can just post like whatever fun crap that you want. And I went on there and I looked at her profile and I just like started scrolling through her pictures, and I saw so many pictures of them together. And then I saw some recent ones from like April and May, not of him, not like with him in it, but it was the same, it was his whole name tagged. And I was like, that doesn't look like the same Instagram username that I'm used to seeing. So then I clicked on it. He dead ass had a whole Instagram account that he blocked me from the beginning, probably because he didn't want me to find out about this other girl. And so I took a screenshot of it and I sent it to him at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning with no context whatsoever. I just sent that screenshot to him, and then ever since then my number's been blocked. I've been blocked on Facebook, blocked on Snapchat. He deleted his old Instagram. I've clearly been blocked on Instagram. So yeah, so that is what happened, literally. So yeah, never heard from him again until summer 2018. This girl is still with him because I went out to mojito night with my friends, and who was sitting on the little lounge chairs next to the fire pit? Mark and the girlfriend. Oh my god, I literally could not, I was literally about to like shit my pants, you guys. Like literally, I was like, oh my god, what do I do? I was like, I literally thought I was never gonna see him again. Like that was just, it was like, that's just insane. I never thought I was gonna see him ever again. And then he's literally there with the girlfriend that I never knew about, that I'd also never met before. Also, we transferred to Davis the same exact year. We were both junior transfers. Then I remember like seeing them again another night when we went to Ket, and I was telling my friend Annalie about it, and I was like dude, this is what happened, blah blah blah. And she was like, oh my god, I know him, because when we were at Ket they were there, and I was like, dude, like that's the guy. And she was like, bro, I know him, I used to work with him on campus at UC Davis. I was like, bruh. And she was like, but she was like, that doesn't make sense at all, like he seemed like such a nice guy and blah blah blah. And I was like, that's what I thought too, bitch. Like it was so yeah, needless to say, I've been through my fair share of fun times, you know. Mark, I don't know if you're actually seeing this video, you're probably not, but if you are, like, I just don't understand how, because that must have been thought of ahead. Like this whole thing was definitely like plotted, because I never found his Instagram from the get-go, never had an Instagram. So I was blocked from the beginning. So this was definitely planned, which is what makes this scary, because you just like, I think that in itself just really kind of like showed me that you just really can't trust anyone no matter what. And it's insane that we were together for that long, and just like I literally had no idea. And it's so weird to me, because how did she not know? Because if he was literally like with me all weekend, not on his phone, like what did she think that he was doing all weekend? Like I'm so confused. Yeah, I will never know exactly, you know, what's going going on now. They're not together anymore, that's all I know. Oh, and then another thing that's also funny, which I don't have the screen recording of this anymore. It's probably on my iCloud somewhere, I don't know. But when I went to the Sacramento Zoo over that same summer for class, I was just really freaking bored and just scrolling on Bumble and Sac on the drive home, and guess who freaking popped up again? And this was during the summer, so this was when they were still so he was still doing I don't know. And I just don't understand how you can do that when you have sisters. Yeah, I don't know, but I hope that you're getting help, and I hope that if you do ever find the love of your life, that she sets you straight. Time to finish this wine. I feel like I've literally been talking for forever, so I'm so sorry if this video is so long, but like it kind of like story times have to be long in order to like get the whole story out, right? So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want me to do more story times, hopefully not exactly like this, hopefully I will never have to deal with this again. So if you guys want more story time sit down videos like this, please let me know in the comments down below. Let me know like what you thought was the craziest part of the video and part of the story, because I feel like the whole thing was honestly like a shit show. So let me know what you guys think. Obviously I'm doing fine now. It was 2 years ago, that's why like I'm able to tell this story and like not be like upset about and stuff still, but it definitely did hurt me a lot, and I definitely have grown a lot from it, and I'm very grateful that it's kind of brought me like more aware to my relationships with other people and who I put my trust in. So yeah, as you guys know, Vlogmas is coming up, so please let me know of any Vlogmas content ideas that you guys want to see from me. I hope you guys are all staying really safe and well, especially during right now. So anyways, I hope that you guys are all doing well. Please try and stay as positive as you can. I will try and pump out some more content for you guys so you guys can like have some more, you know, positive, some light things coming up. So I'm so sorry that I haven't uploaded in a while. I've just been going through some personal stuff. Before we go, make sure as always to subscribe to my channel by hitting the little subscribe button down below and hitting the bell next to it so you're notified every time that I upload a brand new video to YouTube. I upload videos every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday. Make sure as always to also follow me on Instagram. It's at AmandaPanda96. I will have the link to it in the description down below, as well as all my other social medias, and I will see you guys in next time's video. Bye guys!